Please head up the stairs, make a left into the main doors of Union Station.
Good evening. It was a rush hour like no other and a scary situation for the thousands of commuters who use Union Station, but particularly one woman in her 20s who basically was doing what many of these people here are doing now, using the Bay Street Tunnel when she was struck in the head by a chunk of concrete that fell from the ceiling and started bleeding. As you can imagine, this happened during rush hour, and many of these people who are here today were also there yesterday. I had the chance to speak to one woman who witnessed the bloody scene.
Out of the corner of my eye, I kind of thought I saw something fall. Didn't think much of it, thought maybe it was like a pigeon or something. There's always birds down there. And then, you know, as I got closer to the platform, it was like platform 6, 7 doors, tapped my card and turned around, is when I kind of saw what was happening, you know, and people were sort of moving away, and there was a big piece of concrete on the ground about the size of a dinner plate and splatters of blood on either side. By then, transit officers had already responded, and they had this young lady. She was still conscious, sobbing, quite upset, unfortunately, as you can imagine, propped up against the wall, and we're treating her.
What injuries did she have? Did you see?
I could not see. You know, they were tending to her head. They were doing quite a bit around her head, so I'm assuming it must have struck her there. If it had been a bigger piece, who knows? More people could have been hurt, but it was, yeah, it's always quite crowded, that kind, you know, point of the day, and you think could have been me, could have been anybody else.
Passing by this station daily on your commute, does it make you have any concerns about safety?
You know, it doesn't. They've been doing a really good job of keeping people safe.
Paramedics tended to the woman who is said to be in her 20s and say she was bleeding heavily from the head and suffered serious injuries. Reports say she has been released from hospital. The Bay West Teamway at Union Station was closed following the incident and throughout the night for an investigation, and later reopened to pedestrians this morning after it was deemed safe. The entrance to these platforms have been under construction for quite some time now, and following yesterday's incident, some commuters are growing frustrated with what appears to be a never-ending project.
It's a little bit of a freak accident, I think. I can't really imagine it happening again. That would be like lightning striking twice, or at least that's my hope.
It doesn't instill a lot of confidence that people know what they're doing, and I think we need to take a look at this.
It makes you aware that I guess you're not as safe as you think you are, and you always have to be looking out for yourself, especially with all this construction.
It's worth it at the end of the day to have an updated Union Station. What was there was not servicing us either, and I think that accidents like this are the reasons that people are afraid of the construction.
I live in this area, so it's been like this forever. I don't know when it'll ever...
The construction you're talking about?
The construction, and then every time it rains, it's flooding. I don't know if you ever noticed, but if it rains a lot, you can't walk past here because there's like a foot of water, and then there's a foot of water past the trains.